righty, Doctor from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is Thursday, getting to the end of the week, and the markets have been relatively, I guess you could say, firm, consistent. When it comes to the equity markets, interesting on the crypto side, and you can see here on the dollar index side, it's pressing down, and we've been in that weekly sell. You can see on our beta platform. Right now, a good 4 weeks now, we've been pressing down. Over on our regular platform, you can see basically same situation, except for it's 3 weeks, and it's been choppy, and that's what we keep on saying. It started to climb. I didn't think it was going to see 107, and we're figuring more of the lows than the highs, just sideways down. That's we expect to see a weaker dollar over here on J4X. You can see right there, same situation. 3 days pushing down. In the Hinky Ashkeys, you can see the fast stochastic at 17.7, and the slow is at 20.4. So still showing that weakness. We're seeing the weak, or the downwardly pressure. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Downwardly pressure. And what else can we say about that? I guess that's about it. That is it. All right. So, looking at the dollar in general, it's totally related to the anticipation of lower interest rates. So, less concern about the higher rates we're seeing at the moment. Everybody's got it in their heads that we've reached its peak, and they're not going to raise anymore. I think they still have a quarter out there that they're going to do. But either way, the when you look at money management and the long-term view that they take, 6 months to a year, they're saying, okay, we're at the top. Maybe it goes another quarter point, maybe it goes a half, but at this point, might as well start buying it now. And that is the attitude that they're taking, to keep on buying it, buying bonds. There's a lot of serious talk about the idea that, you buy bonds, and because that it's a guarantee of return. And I think the S&P 500, they're talking about maybe a 6 or 7% return next year. In the election year, it'll be a plus year probably, but it won't be explosive. I think it has the potential. We are, as I've said, we're under 60 days now away from the primaries. And as the first of the year kicks in, it's going to get loud. New Hampshire has declared their, which has confused me, because they've been trying to push South Carolina to have its first primary election in January. And so New Hampshire's having their primary in January 23rd. And I thought that they were going to move the Carolina one to like the 5th. So yesterday I was saying, we're probably under 45 days away. But at this point we're, just kind of cruising along to basically 60 some odd days away from the first primary elections for the presidency of the United States. So we've been waiting a long time. It's been a long, tough 3 years of Joe Biden. And people just cannot wait to get rid of him. So we'll see how the markets treat that going into the spring of next year. And I think it could be very explosive on the upside. It could be a very strong summer in the market itself. All right. From the, the dollar index, let's slide over to the euro and see how the euro is doing. And right there, let's get the euro up on the screen. There it is right there. Euro is kind of soft the last couple of days after that nice big explosive belief that interest rates have kind of finished off their increasing. Take a look at it on J4X right there. There it is right there. So, and you can see the same situation, the strength in the euro. The fast algorithm is trading at the 86.7 area, and the slow is trading at 75.8. So it's still, it's still showing that strength even with this weakness we've seen here for the last couple of days. Let's check it out on the beta. Beta, we show you the bond, not the bond, the futures contract right there. And you can see there, it's doing the same thing in that weakness the last couple of days. Right there. See that weakness right there? See, we're in the daily buy for 3 days. And you can see the weekly is 4 weeks now in the buy. And that is one more week than the old platform. And again, we're really excited, and we're waiting to see what gold does. Since the gold future yesterday was pushing on the weekly sell. So the beta is doing a great job now. And so anybody that wants to be a beta tester, be my guest. We're trying to get our advertisements organized, but I think it'd be well worth trying to beta test, just to have the power to look at any product during the trading day itself. That's pretty good. Right now, though, we only have the currency futures, not the currencies, the spot yet. So, all right. From there, we'll go over to the British pound, and there is GBP. Same situation, 3 days with green. The fast is at 77.6, 77.7 really, and the slow is at 16.9.8, and so still strengthen that, and we'll put it up over here, and there it is right there. 2 days of it moving down, but not enough to damage the buy signal. It's still in the weekly buy, and then we go over to, let's see, 6C, 6B, right there. And there's the futures contract. Let's put it up on the screen there. And you can see there, 4 weeks in a buy. Boy, it got close to dipping down, that's for sure. And you can see we're still in the daily buy too. It's holding up. It was a really very positive move. This might be the base now, this 122.75 area, maybe the 122 area. So that might be the new base, and so it's been making. There's a low here, as you can let's see, where's that mouse at? There's a low here, and then there's a higher low there, and now there's a higher low there, 3 in a row. We'll see if they challenge that or they start to turn it back up even more. And that's usually the way it plays itself out when you keep on seeing these higher lows previously. Markets have natural tendencies to go up and down, but they have an overall path of trend. In the case here, it's been more of the upside, since since basically the end of October. Is that right? Yeah, the end of October. So it's been pushing ever since the 121 area. It's been pushing up, and it gets up, and it comes down to test, and come back up again. And that's what's good about putting the daily and the weekly signals together. This way, you're in the right trend, and that's the whole idea, is to be in the right trend. And then the trick from there, obviously, or the strategy from there, is not to over or under. Well, under is one thing. You don't go wrong by under investing, but over investing, in other words, you get stopped out, and next thing you know, you're watching it go up, and you were like, I was long, and I got stopped out. And that's why we're real big fans of marrying the binaries or the options to the underlying product. And that is where it's at. Okay. All right. What else do we have going on here? Let's make that a little bit bigger, like so. All right. Now what we have is from there, we go over to the Swiss. And let's see what the Swiss is up to. And let's put it up on J4X first. Right there. You see, When this is going down, it's gaining against the dollar. So you can see here the fast is at 12.7, the slow is at 25.6. So it's gaining very comfortably and strong. Yo, Robin, hi. And then from over there, we go and look at right there. You can see the same thing. It's just kind of sideways down yesterday. Today it's up a little bit, but it's got the 3 days going down like on J4X, minuses. And you can see the weekly still hanging out in that sell area. It was pressuring the upside at one point, but it stopped. So, here we are, 4 full weeks in a sell, going on a 5th. And the fast has been 5 full weeks in a sell, going on actually it climbed back up last week there, and then now it's back down again. So it's the pressure is on the downside, which means it's for the Swiss versus the dollar is going to lose against the Swiss. There we go. Now from there, we go over to the yen. We've seen. I saw stats today about the economy in Japan. Japan's economy is really in a tough situation. It's not doing as well as they're hoping. And so they're seeing some really bad numbers. And then they had the finance minister 3 days ago have to resign for fraud or something of that nature, taking money. And so we understand more about the I guess you could say the clash of the Swiss franc with banking problems at the time with Credit Suisse, and maybe the bank minister, finance minister was involved in that, because we saw both currencies marched together for a long while, and opposite of the cable and opposite of the euro. So it was a really interesting twist that we were seeing in different directions. But the thing is that the Swiss and the yen were reacting the same exact way. So we don't know what problems the minister had and has finally resigned from it. But a lot of these times, especially in Japan, it takes a while for the whole system to play out. And so we see now the yen itself, really very, very diverse compared to the rest of the market overall. It's trading at incredible 45-year highs, or I guess you could call them 45-year lows, whatever you want to call it at this point. So let's put that on J4X right there. And you see it's trying to pop back up again. The fast stochastic's at 48.8, and the slow is at 56.9. It's trying to lift. It's got that push going on, but so far holding up in that neutral spot, because one is the fast and slow stochastic are pointing in one direction, and the Hinky-Ashki is pointing in another. Now over on Chicago Quant's platform here. Let's see. Let's put it right there. There it is. You can see it's it's not nowhere near the tail, and it came roaring back up yesterday. I almost got into the buy. It was very close. You can see plot 1 was minus 0.01, and plot 4 was minus 0.03. So it was very close to climbing into the buy. Now today, it's backed off a little bit, and the product itself is just calmer today. Nowhere near the size of the day itself. It's still in that long weekly buy from all the way back to, we're looking at early August. Right there it went into a weekly buy, and the fast had done it the week before, and so it's been basically in a weekly buy since the 142-ish area going into the 143. And you can see, now we have a product that's trading at 140 or 150, 130. So it's a big move in a product like that. All right. So how you making out, Robin? All good? All good. It's been a quiet week, when it comes to people asking questions. I looked on the video from yesterday. There was two compliments, and that was it. No questions, just compliments, which is nice. I'm willing to take that. But I would love to be answering questions, Let's see. Cool. See any particular product you want to look at? And I'm going to go from there. We're getting ready to go to the Great Experiment. See what the Great Experiment is up to. There's the Turkish lira. Quiet the last 2 days. It's just missed closing at a record high last night by a couple ticks. Right now, if it closed at the 31.16 area, that would be that would be a new all-time high just by a tick, or like 4 ticks. So the thing is, trading around these all-time high settlements now, the Great Experiment, the euro against the Turkish lira, and that's been really fascinating to watch that action happen. What else can we say about that? I see, the Turkish marketplace. There's not much of a discussion about it, or at least internationally, we don't see it. Once in a while, when they do something insane, like raise interest rates 50%, you see somebody pay attention for a little bit. Take a sip of tea there. But overall, it's been very quiet, not very loud. So it makes me, curious. All right, let's go over to, since no one seems to be asking any questions, let's march over to, we're going to put the South African Rand up on J4X. So you can see right there, 3 days in a sell. The fast is at 11.3, and the slow is at 31. So, it's pressing down. That's a positive sign for the metals complex. Let's take a look at that metals complex. And and let's just look at the yen too while we're here. I'm sorry, not the yen, the South African Rand. You can see it's popping up a little bit there today after yesterday's down. So let's take a look at the gold contract itself. Right there. And there's the gold contract. And it's up a little bit today, which is nice. Yesterday was down a little bit. There doesn't seem to be any screaming or yelling or excitement going on the product area at the moment. Let's save that too. Right there. And let's take a look at it over on our beta this morning. Because that weekly really has caught my eye. I cannot let it go. Because the beta's been doing a great job of being a week ahead of everything. So I'm starting to be a tad concerned about what's going to happen with the metals complex if it does that. There we are. Let's put it up on the screen. And that weekly seems to be even drifting even further down right there. The daily's, 2 days in a buy, just like we are over here. As a matter of fact, we're 3 days in a buy over here. And over here, we're only 2 days in a buy. But we're flirting with the weekly sell with no problem. So, I am excited to see how this all plays out. It's a battle between our two different platforms. Whereas the beta platform has been leading pretty much every product really well compared to, leading against the old platform. This one, we're actually seeing it in real time to the point we're paying attention to it more, which is really exciting now. We're starting to see this, starting to understand ever since the last generation of programming on it, that we've really got to get getting it tightened up, and then from there we'll try to go with better graphics, and we'll make it look a lot like the old platform, and before you know it, it'll look like the old platform. So this is the horse race that I'm paying attention to, because I'm starting to wonder, I thought that was a base, and if it doesn't support this time, then it turns into the head and shoulders, and the next thing you know, we're trading at 1875 or something like that, or 1850 again. So That would be a real shakeup. But if interest rates are dropping and we can't get the metals complex to lift, that's going to be a real calamity for the traders themselves. All right, now from there we'll go over to silver, and there's silver. Silver is acting extremely well, going from 23, fighting its battle all the way up close to 24. The high now is 23.78 today. Now, that's a pretty good thing. It's 3 weeks in a buy, but we find that the silver is way more undervalued. That's for sure. I mean, that's probably one of the sad things that occurred. Let's put it up on the screen here. Right there. Yeah, I mean, we're like looking at it and we're thinking, wait a second here. Why isn't silver making it to the 26s? If gold is really lifting, why isn't silver joining in with it? And again, we also have that same feeling about the platinum. Why didn't platinum join in so aggressively? And it says a lot about the whole metals complex. This could be a real frustration for longs in the metals complex. Another opportunity to just buy metals cheaper again in the end. All right, let's see, and then let's put it up on here. Let's put it up on the silver right there. You can see that 6 days in a daily buy, way more than our old platform, and you can see 4 weeks in a weekly buy. So, and I guess you could say it's 5 out of 6 weeks in a weekly buy, which is even more interesting. And this back and fill down in here kept on screaming, "Don't sell me, don't sell me," and it lifted for 2 days down with green dots in a daily buy. It just kept on telling us, "Do not sell them," and sure enough, it turned. Now, what's curious? Let's show it to you here. There we are. So it showed you that where it was pretty much sideways and then bang and then boom, boom. That's a technical term. Boom, 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 boom. All right, and that's the silver. And like I said, it's definitely it's trying to do something more positive. It's so hard to believe we're not trading in the 26s or 27s with the way gold is going. So. And you can see South African Rand again right there has had that nice long downwardly trend. So it's trying to tell us that the metals complex should be lifting, and it has been lifting. There's no doubt about it. And so now what we're just doing is we're waiting to see if this is some type of bottom in the Rand or vice versa, top in the metals. All right. So from there, we go over to copper. Let's see how the copper looks on the beta. All right, there it is right there. And there's copper 2 weeks in a buy and 4 days in a buy, and it's climbing and climbing, and that's not backing off. And that, I don't know if that's maybe Chi's had made some big success in San Francisco. Maybe they anticipated there was going to be some success. It's hard to say. All I know is that we're seeing strength in the copper, and that's usually a sign of some strength in China, and we're not seeing the strength in China. So I'm a little confused about that. All right. Another sip of the tea. So from there's the copper on the old platform, and it's fighting to go into the weekly buy this week. And so there's another example of, let's just show you. That's another example of the beta being a week ahead of the old platform. And I'll just show it to you again right there. You can see the weekly up 2 weeks now, knowing that it was turning. It was making that turn, and sure enough, here we are. I mean, there's Friday's close, right? there. Is that Friday? Yeah, this is Friday's close. And so it closed in a weekly buy. And at the same time, on Monday morning, it goes into a buy. And whew, zoom. All right. And then last but not least, let me just save that too while we're there. I like to refresh the savings of these products a lot of times. And there it is. And then from there, we go over to platinum. And we think that's the culprit to begin with. And you can see the platinum in that weekly sell throughout most of that adventure, finally getting into the fast went into the buy 3 weeks back. Or was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks back? It went into the buy. No, it didn't. There it is, right there. It went into the buy 4 weeks back, basically at the top of the plateau. And when we go back and look at gold 4 weeks ago, that was where it plateaued and topped and started to move down, and we went into the sell. Now, in this case here, you can see the weekly is trying to weaken. It's trying to show us that there's weakness, but so far not that best. And it's gone sideways down now from the over to the $2,000 area down to as low as 1930. Was that 1935? So a $65 drop over those 10 days. And so when we go back to the platinum right here, you can see the platinum is doing its best to say it's going to go into the buy right there. But it has been ziggy and zaggy, it's been real sloppy. And that'll be interesting if, here we are Thursday. So, if they do close this in a buy, weekly buy, and we're in a daily buy, maybe we're going to see some strength, and maybe that base will hold. And that'll be the real horse race that we're watching for. And then from there, let's see. So that basically finishes off the metals complex. And that's the platinum. And do we have the platinum up on the screen? No. Let's put the platinum up on the beta. Let's see. Platinum. There's that. And that's not it. There it is right there. Let's put it up on the screen. There's the platinum on the beta. And it's showing, 3 days in a buy. The other platform is showing 4 days in a buy. It's showing us that it is, what is it trying to do now? It's trying to get back into a weekly sell. It's showing us that it went into the weekly buy last week, and out of the last 3 weeks, it's been choppy just like our other platform was. Buy and sell, then buy. It's basically sell, buy, sell, buy. So we're watching it here, and you can see it's trying to figure that out. And you can see how it was in the weekly sell right there, and just dropped down, and then finally bottomed in here and turned up again. And interesting is that buy the next week was the peak right here. So we're really locked. We're fixed in that area. That's where we are. Indeed. Okay, now from there, let's see, Platinum all taken care of. From there, we're going to march over to the energy sector. Energies. And we're going to put Brent. We put Canadian dollar up there. That's what it is. Dollar CAD. And you can see that long move up, which means it's been losing against the dollar, and that's always telling us that the oil sector wants to go down in value. So let's take a look at Brent. Let's see, where's that? There it is right there. There is the Brent. Playing with the $80 area, and it has had that long movement down from the high 90s, then tried to rally back up and failed, and is back down again here, making new lows. There's a 6-7 days ago was a new low of like 6 months, and now we're seeing that same situation over again. And so that's why we're seeing this big trend up against, the loss against the U.S. dollar, the Canadian dollar. You can see the fast algorithm trading at 17.9, almost 18, and the slow is trading at 32. So, we're still seeing that pressure on the downside when it comes to the stochastics. All right. From there, we'll put up crude oil on the screen on our old platform right there. You see, again, making lows, putting pressure on, closing a daily sell yesterday. We're in a weekly sell for 3 weeks. And just as we see in, you can see on the other screen, you can see on our beta, we've been in weekly sells in the Brent for 10 weeks at least. Now let's take a look and see where oil is in it. Let's see. We'll find it in a second. Crude. And it'll jump out right there. There it is. And crude has been in a weekly sell the same way for a full 10 weeks. Now over on the old platform, I think we've zigzagged in and out a few times. You can see there we went into a weekly sell, was that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks back, went into a weekly sell. But over here on the beta, it went into a weekly sell up in here. Off of this one right there. And so it's been in the sell straight ahead along, and then it went into a buy. So it was 8 weeks ago it went into the buy right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 weeks ago. So the beta beat it by 3 weeks. And again, that's what is exciting us, is that it seems like the beta is definitely ahead of the curve. All right. From there, we will take a look at... Oh, let's save that too. I wanted to save that. All right. From there, we jump over to... let's see. Natural gas. And there's natural gas. You can see it's kind of trying to lift up. It's been real choppy the last couple of days. We're in a daily buy, and today it is flirting with the sell, but it's got a green and a red, so no line put in yet. You can see the weekly's been in a weekly sell for 1 week full, and now it's trying to go into a second week here, but it's really tight. Let's put it up on the beta and see what the beta is trying to tell us about this all. NG. There's NQ. I know we have it on here somewhere. We've looked at it before. NQ, NQ, NG. There it is right there. There's the NG. And you can see 3 days or 4 days in a buy, just like over here. Let's put up on the screen. And when it comes to the weekly, you can see 2 weeks in a sell, and it's trying to lift again. So, we started off, I guess you could say we started off on the other platform in a sense. Let's just show you. So we went into the weekly sell back in here on the beta platform and caught that ride. And you can see, let's put it up on there again. Not only was it in a weekly sell, but you can see the daily caught that move with it and stayed in that sell all the way up down into here. And so now it's been in a daily buy for 4 days. From the natural gas, what we do is we go over to the Spanish energy company that we follow in the stock form. Ooh, what a move. Look at that. That's a surprise. Yesterday we were flirting with the 26.50, and now we're playing with the $27 Today's high is right up in the $27 area. Let's show it to you on J4X too. There's right there. 26.93s are offered. They're showing a high today of 26.89. And let's put it up on here just to see. Here it's showing that it touched the $27 area. The high is $27. See it in the box there. 27 high, 26.74 low. And it's trading right now at, last trade, let's try it again. The last trade is at 26.92. So there's some real pressure. You can see J4X has it offered at 93 at the moment. 89 bids at 93. So that pressure on the energy sector there. In, here we are going into the winter, so you assume that you would see more and more pressure on the upside. All right. From there, we drift over to, where do we drift over to? Let's drift over to the stock indices. They've been fun the last couple days. So let's put them up on, let's go put on J4X, let's put the S&P 500 right there. You can see that nice long run on a daily. Bang, 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 bang. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Fastest trading at 87, basically at 88. And the slow is at 89, so it's trying to roll over. Let's put it up over here. Right there on the S&P 500 futures. You can see we've been in that buy for 4 full weeks. And at the same time, just one little hiccup right there. And it's been in a buy just like on J4X all the way up. Up and away. And that's pretty positive there. Let's see. Let's put this right there. And same situation. Matter of fact, this was 2 days on the old platform. Right there. And didn't go back into the buy until there. So it went into the sell here. Went into the buy there. And we were in a weekly buy for 3 full weeks now on there compared to 4 on the beta. So either way, you don't take the short. That's for sure. You might be neutral, but you don't take the short. All right. What else can we say about any of that? Let's see. So that is the S&P 500. Let's go take a look at the. Let's see. Which one will we go look at? We'll go look at the Tech 100. Let's put that up on J4X too. And there is the Tech 100, or better known as the NASDAQ 100. And you can see right here. Doing that same thing on that long run, only going into a sell once. And now, oh, look at that. So it's actually reflecting a daily sell yesterday. It made it into the sell yesterday. Interesting. And a little pressure on it. No, that's not where I want that. And then let's put it down below. So it was yesterday. So right there. So we're back into the sell there, but we're in a weekly buy. So awful hard to do anything but think about trying to be neutral at this point. You don't want to sell out. You would just rather take some profits maybe, but you don't want to be short or anything like that. You don't want to change your direction. All right. Bing, 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 bing. Let's put it up on the beta. Right underneath NQ, right there. There it is. Now there you can see it's still in the buy. I'm just going to double check on the other platform. Oh, no, the different title. Where's it at? NQ. There's it. There it is again. So on the NQ, it's, you can see right here, it's not letting it go. It's not even in a sell. It's been in that buy for a while, and it's 4 weeks in a buy, and it doesn't care. It's basically saying don't worry. So that topping out yesterday and the pressure on it, And it's basically saying, don't worry. Let's just double check it. I want to see something else. I'm going to go to the exchange chart. I want to see what they show, because it does seem a little funny. Let's make sure that that's why it's funny. Yeah. So the beta platform is right, and the this is wrong. That high is way wrong. So we'll fix that later on, but I trust the beta at this point. All right, now I'm going to erase that cell because it may not be in a cell with the way that the exchange chart is showing me. All right, from there we go over to the granddaddy of them all, and that is the Dow Jones Industrial Average right there on J4X. Just hovering underneath the 35,000 area. And there it is right there. There we are. You can see that's been very firm too. It did fall into a sell one day out of like the last 3 weeks, and then back into the buy again. So it's going from the 32,005 area to the 35,000 area. Nice move. Weekly buy for 4 full weeks throughout that whole adventure. Can't complain about that. We went into a buy here on the weekly, so that's fantastic. It's been, again, beta is doing a fine job. Let's put it up over on Chicago Quant. There's right there. You can see there that's the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And again, we had that weakness for a couple of days, but it just turned right back up again. And 3 weeks in a buy compared to the beta's 4 weeks. Either way, it's in a buy. That's a good thing. So we'll see how they play it out. We got tomorrow. Tomorrow is very positive. We'll see. If it closes out around here, that's really good. All right, now from there, from there, let's shoot over to, and there's no questions this week. It's been very quiet on the question side of things. Maybe Friday will be wild. Wild. Indeed. So from there, What else can we say about that? All right. I know what we want to look at. We want to go look at the Russell 2000. That's the one that's like we've said is the canary in the coal mine. So we're really, we're watching that, and let's see how it played yesterday in this market. Let's see. Let's put it on RTY, right? RTY. Should jump. There it is, RTY. And let's take a look at it on the old platform at the same time. Looks a little weak today. Nothing more on the beta. Holding up very fine. And there it is right there on the chart you're looking at. You can see that strength right there. And let's put it up on right there. Where's it at? On J4X. Let's put it on there. Right there. There it is. 3 days of good solid strength. The fast is at 80, was at 82.4, and the slow is at 70.7. So strength is still coming into that on the stochastic side. Same situation here. The weekly right there joining in, showing some life. And this is a second week, I believe, on the beta. Yeah, second week on the beta. So the beta picked it up last week. Right there. Interesting. So, we're seeing on the strength, it seems to be holding up well, and no complaints about that. Now this is, this is the Russell 2000. Over 40% of the stocks in this index are losing money, because they're little companies. That's why they're $500 million companies and $1 billion companies and $3 billion companies. That's it. And that's really small compared to, look at the biggest company in the world, Apple Computer, almost $3 trillion. Trillion, not billion, 3 trillion. Even some of the average S&P 500 companies are like 130 billion or 80 billion, way up there. And this index, I think the top is 6 billion or 3 billion, one or the other, and they can be as low as under $500 million, right around $500 million. So this is a good example of what money is thinking. In other words, when they're willing to speculate and buy in on stuff like that, it tells you, how much, what kind of, value it is, Indeed, indeed. Okay. So, we go from there. We go from there. Let's go check it out. Okay, I guess that's what it is. We can take a look at like the SPY. Why don't we look at some of the ETFs and see how well they remember the ETFs and like the SPY and the Qs are more of like a 6.5 hour product. They don't trade 24 hours like the Qs there. So you have a lot of different flavor there to it. In this case here, it did go in the sell, and it's in the sell again right now as we speak. But in that weekly buy, and we got a red and a green going on at the moment. And let's see what the SPY looks like on there. Must be up higher. There's a SPY. That is holding up in the daily buy. And is that yesterday or is that today? That might be, yeah, that's not today. They're not updating yet. See, they're not even updating yet. Let me just double check the Qs if that was updating or not. Nope, they weren't updating either, and it was flirting with it. So yesterday it closed in a green and a red, and it's just waiting for it to go red to be able to confirm. You see right there in the weekly. So that's the difference between these ETFs versus a 24-hour futures contract, which makes it kind of confusing in its own way. When you look at it, you're like, oh. It's definitely the 6.5 and 7 hours and thin trading compared to the futures where everybody can trade them 24 hours and they can use them to hedge their whole portfolios, and there's much more participation. That's why the futures contracts seem to have much more punch to them. All right. Any questions out there at all? And Robin, see, I put that the SPY and so forth up there just to give you a chance to take a look at it and see. I'm looking at the 200-day moving average. Let's see if we put it up on the other platform with the 200-day moving average. What did I just hit there? Okay. Right there. And there it is right there. You can see we're well above the 200-day moving average there. We're at the top of the Bollinger Bands, and our math is screaming through the top. Our daily is just showing the little weakness there. That's the only thing that's showing some weakness. So it's not the worst in the world, but it is showing that they're trying to hesitate a little bit, some hesitation going on. And so today, I guess we could come up with a title, something about let's see, what were we talking about earlier? We're looking at currencies, and it was we talked about it yesterday. I guess it was gold, and and I guess I want to put up in there. I'm really curious: is gold reaching a top? That's the thing, and I'm really still paying attention to that. Top. And so that's going to be, something we're going to be really staring at for the next, 6 days. Because if we're in a weekly sell next week there and we start to go in the old platform, we're going to be real concerned. All right. Well, traders, trying to see what else I could basically show you. I think I'll have a sip of the tea, wait to see if anybody has any question whatsoever. Because we have about 4 or 5 minutes we can still do. If there's no questions, let's see. There you go. LHZ. Oh, let's take a look at LHZ. The Hoggies. Let's see how the hogs are doing. I think they were really close to the sell this morning. Remember, they don't trade overnight. That's a curious thing about the hogs. They're like the Qs and the S&Ps. They are the spies. They don't trade overnight. All right, here it comes. Oh, actually, what it is it's been in a sell for 5 days now. It's flirting with a weekly buy. That's what it is. And it looks like it's going to make it into it, too. Which is kind of curious. I wonder what the back month hogs look like. There's February hogs. Now they're in a daily buy for 3 days. And just missed going into the sell. And you can see it's trying to climb into the weekly buy also, right? Oh, right there. Can you see that? Yeah. You can see that right there. So the hogs, they are showing some life in there. They've been an interesting product. You can see, let's tighten this up a little bit. This is the February back month. And they were way up in the 80s, and they almost, what's the high there? 83, 84 back in the summer. Let's see if there's any further back action. Yeah, look at that. They were up almost 90. Now let's see what the deck looked like in that same time period. Yeah, they got up to 85 there. You see that? So there's been a nice little sell-off. We went into a sell here, went back into a buy for a little bit, and back into a sell. So for pretty much most of that run, we were in a weekly sell. Then we got into the weekly buy for this, and jumped back into a sell again for that. And then it got real ziggy-zaggy in there. In, out, in, out, in, out. And then a breakdown right there finally. And, they put a bottom in it. Looks like right there. Let's widen that out. Just missed the buy right there. Wonder how the Feb was. Was it a buy there? Yes. And then went into a sell. So 3 weeks back it was a buy. And then this was not. Yeah, I see. Yeah. No, that's 4 weeks back. So that's 4 weeks back. So no, we didn't really see that at all. We're not seeing that action in the hogs. Well, we'll just keep a track on it, and then you can see the oats too, because we've been looking at the oats, and there's the oats and dotes and little daisies, and you can see that's been it's interesting. It's really been in that sell for a while now. Now it's getting into the daily sell. This is live. This is where it's trading today. So maybe we're gonna go challenge some new lows again. I mean, oats are. I guess the lows have been as low as there is at 321 back in the summer. We got what is that? That's 324, and that's back in December of 22, so a year ago. Interesting. All right, traders, we're out of here. This is Doc from North America. We'll catch you all tomorrow, same time, same channel on TGIF. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. See you tomorrow.